Well, hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we do have some gentlemen that are participating in this as well. Welcome back to Crafting with Karen. Something that we have coming up today is we are going to be doing a seashell wind chime. We'll go over that in just a moment. We will next be doing candles. These are candles that are made with napkins and parchment paper and a hair dryer. But we'll go into the details of how these are created using candles, pillar candles. We will also be doing cutting boards made with napkins. Well, the cutting board is not made of napkins, but the decoration is. So let's make sure we're clear on that, because I think it would probably cut through the paper if we only had it made with paper. Then, of course, Christmas is on its way. So we're going to start doing some Christmas crafting as well. Next month, the plans right now are to do a wreath made with plastic candy canes. Now, these candy canes came from Dollar Tree. Y'all know I love Dollar Tree. My husband knows I love Dollar Tree too. But anyway, they do not have their Christmas stuff out now, so this is something I have done in the past. And we will go over the different items that are available and where I can get them from for you to craft with. Any questions, as always, you can contact me by calling the library, or you can email me at karen.garris@waynegov.com, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions. If you'll hold on just a moment, we're going to take just a short break, get everything set up, and then I'm going to go over how we do a seashell wind chime. Welcome back. Today we're going to be making a seashell wind chime. There will be a picture posted. I do have it up on a display, but it's kind of hard to get into this as well. So I'm going to go over the materials that are needed in order to do this. The seashell wind chime uses a dowel, and you can get these at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Walmart. They're not that expensive. I think that there's 5 of them to a package. And I have actually painted the one that I'm going to be using. And these are the paints that I used over here. And what I did was I painted them and then I distressed them just a little bit. And what that means is that after you've painted it and it's dried, just take a sandpaper and just kind of lightly hit on it, trying to make it look more like driftwood. Now, of course, if you have driftwood, you can use that as well. But since I didn't have any, this was the next best thing. A couple ways that you can handle this as far as putting the string on. As you can see, I do have string that is attached, and that's how we're going to attach the shells. I'll go over that. You can tie them, which is what I've done, or you could drill holes through the dowel if that's what you wanted, and put them through and tie a knot. To me, it was just easier to do the tying just because of that. So you have to have string, the dowel, your paint, little wooden beads. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I do remember that, but they're around, so there's different ones that you can do. And they go on the bottom of the wind chime. And of course, you've got to have shells. Now, these are shells that I picked up over the years in Surf City. So they are North Carolina shells, so keep that in mind. So the first thing you do, of course, is you do need to paint your dowel. Let it dry. While that is drying, and it usually is pretty quick because of the type of paint that is used, you need to get you some string. You can make this as long or as short as you want it. That's entirely up to you. This is, your craft. You can do whatever. I do a piece of string about like this, and then you can cut it, and you can always trim it down. It's better to make it long than to make it short. So once you have done that, then what you need to do, now let me see if I can get this untangled, because of course it gets tangled having sat here. Give me a minute. Is you pull it up so that you have some up above it. Now, I clipped it together. It was just easier to do that because you do have to tie them onto the dowel, and I just double knotted it. So I have one that I have not done so that I could show you. And you don't have to double knot it. It's just, to me, it's better to do it than to knot in case it does come off. You could always come back and put a little bit of dab of glue on it to make sure that it stays as well. So you have your string. Okay, so once you have your string attached to your dowel, you go back and you tie a knot all the way down. And depending on how many knots you actually tie on each string determines how many shells you put on there. And down at the bottom, you put your little dowel on and tie a knot in that so that it will stay. Okay, so I'm going to go back and quickly tie 4 little knots. And they don't have to be even with the other knots and the other strings because remember it is a wind chime. Now I will tell you that the one that is on display in the library, and it is up near the front, if you happen to come in, it will be there. I learned a few things as I was going through doing this last week because I'm one of those that I have to do the craft before I can show you how to do it. I did learn that you, depending on how you want to display your wind chime, determines how you put your shell on. If it's just going to be a wind chime, it does not matter which way the shell is laying. But if you're going to use it as a tapestry type thing where you're going to put it on the wall, you do need to try to make sure that your shells are all put on in the same way. Another trick that I found is in the instructions that I had, it said to just put a dab of glue on the knot and then put the shell on it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that, and I'm going to show you what I found to work better with that. Still put it on the knot, that's not a problem. But what you do, and you need to use larger shells up here and then gradually go down to the smaller shells down at the bottom. So I'm going to take a shell. It's not a huge one by any means because I do have different sizes. This is the shell, and of course you have the inside of it back here. Hot glue works the best. Could you use craft glue? Possibly. I'm not going to say that you couldn't, but hot glue does work better. Be careful because it will burn you. Believe me, I know this from experience. Put a dab of glue, maybe. There it goes. Put a dab of glue on your knot. Take the back of the shell and carefully, ooh, it's getting hot, glue it onto the back. It's easier if you have something that you can actually use, well, it's stuck now, to hold it in, such as scissors, if nothing else. But hold the knot in, let it go. Then, what you can do, once you get that glued in, is take another little bit of hot glue and just put it on the bottom so that it will stay steady and not turn around, because that's what I found happened. Because you want your shells to all go in the same direction if at all possible. You may have to play with it some. And the nice thing about this is, hey, if it doesn't work the first time, guess what? You can always go back and redo this. It will come off. So we have our first shell on. Once you have gotten all of that and put your bead on and you pull this up, you got to know how to tie it so that you can also hang it up. Just take these, gather them together, kind of get them even, and tie it in a knot. If I can get my fingers going. I should have made this a little bit longer, to be honest with you, but and once you get it tied in a knot, you can kind of even it out. I don't have it even like I should have, but then you can hang it up. Now, if you hang it up, it is easier to put the shells on there. I found that out working on this last week, but you can do it laying down as well. Any questions, please give me a call, shoot me an email. Be more than happy to share with you. Hope that you have enjoyed this short little craft and enjoy listening to your shells as they dance in the wind. Thank you. Have a good day.